Excited to have my next guest back on the show. It's Shameless Shainis, who's got another big one, this time on October the 20th, when he takes on Regivaldo Carvalho at CES 75 for the vacant featherweight strap. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm excited. We're 2 weeks out. 2 weeks.
We're
You
getting
know, it's all,
close.
yeah, it's the weight game right now. So we're getting there.
What is the weight at? You mentioned the weight. I wasn't going to really get into it because we're still a
Oh
little ways
no,
out, but
the weight's golden right now. I'm floating around like 18, 19 off. So you think about cutting out sodium and carbohydrates while staying water loaded. We're looking at dropping 6 to 7 right from there. Plus, I got another week or so to do my cardio, get a shed of like 2, 3 more off. I'm looking at a pretty good weight cut, like a nice easy one.
very cool.
Obviously they're never easy, but I only envision the last, maybe pound, 2 pounds to be difficult. But yeah, dude, I'm excited for this one. I'm in shape. I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. Uh Training camp's been awesome. No real significant injuries. So I've just been fucking traveling, training, and fucking excited for this one. I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah, can't wait to see you back in there, man. And I was really excited when I saw that not only are you fighting for CES, but you're fighting for the title. We talked a little bit before we actually went live here and started the interview. I mean, you've already won a couple of regional titles, including Cage Titans. That's a big one to have. What is it going to
Mhm.
mean to you to bring the CES belt back home as well?
Well, I just want to remind everyone that I'm the best fucking in the region. Like I think some people forgot. And it's kind of a fucking kick in the nuts because, I go to the UFC and I didn't have the best. I wasn't, I'm not going to say I wasn't set up for success, but I didn't have the best run there. And people seem to think that you got worse. And I'm here to remind everyone that I'm the same fucking me and that with a few minor details changing, I'm fucking excellent. And I need to remind them of that.
So you win this belt, obviously, and you do it in impressive fashion. I know the last interview that we did was prior to that Robert Lustig fight. You won that one
Mhm.
via UD. I have to imagine, Don, that the UFC would be next if you do get this win, right? I mean, that only makes sense.
Well, yeah, I want to show them that they fucked up by letting me go. They could have gave me another shot, but I'm not here to bitch about that. What I'm here to do is fucking prove my worth and fucking go out, win this fight, win another belt. You know what? They don't take me back. That's fucking cool. I'll go beat someone else for another fucking title somewhere else. I'm gonna travel the world. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and my mission stays the same.
All right, my man. Tell me, assess the UD win over Robert Lustig for me. That was the last time we saw you fight. We got to go back to July for that one. How happy are you with the overall performance?
Oh, I'm fucking pissed about like I don't really think about it after the fact, but like when I think back on that, there was a lot of things that in my personal life that were interfering as far as girls, work, where I was training, and life kind of gets in the way a little bit, and I didn't have 100% focus. I thought it was a little bit too soon for me to be competing again, and not that I've ever not wanted to fight, but I kind of had to be persuaded like, hey, this is the right move, this is what we're going to do. He's going to be tough, that, but you're skilled, you're going to win. And to me that was actually a super dangerous fight where Robert's very, very fucking tough. And the thing with that is like he wasn't going to quit, but for me to go out there and showcase my abilities, you saw me at 50%. That was not the best version of me, and I'm disappointed that I didn't get in, get out, and I think that there's a far better version of me, and I don't feel like I got to show who I was. I was still, dealing with so many different emotions from being released to the UFC to fucking dealing with fucking work bullshit and money and all these other things. Where this camp, I've been fucking dialed in. I'm excited to fight, and there was no persuading me. This is what I fucking wanted.
I was fortunate enough to be cage side doing the commentary for Robert's fight against Nathaniel Grimard for the
Mhm.
NEF promotion. Grimard's a tough opponent. Lustig lost that fight via UD, but this is a guy that he's got a lot of experience. He's a tough fighter. How difficult is it to go in there when you're favored to win like you are, right, against a fighter that might not have the best record, but is still very game and very tough?
Dude, people forget it's still a fight. I can't tell you how many times I say this. Like, People forget it's still a fight and anything can happen. And just because you're better than someone doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to win. Shit fucking happens. Robert actually clipped me with a knee, and he didn't drop me, but he definitely fucking dropped me to a shot off the wall. And there was about 1 minute, 45 seconds, like maybe a minute and a half, where I was like, oh shit, like I'm in a terrible position. Like I need to fucking get my shit together and pull through right now. And I ended up doing that. But you can't forget anything can fucking happen in there. And I feel like my opponent now, he's super dangerous, especially striking. I think he has a really good guillotine, and I think he's super dangerous striker. I think he hits hard, he's tall, he's long. And that's the shit that excites me. When you go in there with someone that people think like, oh, you're gonna blow them out the water, and then you don't. And it's kind of one of those things where you don't live up to everyone's expectation of you. But you know what? Fuck all those people. They're not the ones getting in there. I'm the one doing it. I'm the one that's dealing with shit on the side. And I got a crazy dog fucking coming at me. Right. My dog doesn't like me. So like my sister just let him in. And anytime he sees me, he goes fucking nuts. But what I was saying was like you go in there and anything can happen at any given time. And I think that my opponent having a fucking great record. I think that him training out of Glover's gym, I think I've seen him fight. I know he's fought some serious competition as far as Blake and Mo Miller. And, you know, I think he's had some really credible wins over some really good guys. And I think that the danger factor has to like make sure my dial's turned all the way up. Because if I'm fucking even a little bit off, dude, I could pay for that.
Yeah, well, let's stick with this theme here and talk about your opponent and just this fight because you just mentioned a lot about how dangerous he is. He's 8-4. You mentioned the
Mhm.
losses to Mo Miller, Blake Builder, high level opposition. He even beat Jay Perrin. So this is a guy that's really been in there with a lot of tough opposition. Where do you feel like you're going to hold an advantage in this fight? Is it just overall, or is there one area that you think you're going to be able to kind of stand out?
I think in the clinch, if I could avoid his guillotine, I know he has a good guillotine. I know he fucking hits hard. I seen him drop Blake two, 3 times in their fight. He obviously ended up getting clipped in that, but I think cardio and pressure is where I excel,
Do you think you finish him?
especially in this matchup. Because he's going to be the taller, longer guy. I think we fight at two different paces, and as long as I don't get a slow start, we're off to the races.
And obviously, with this being a title fight, this is 5 rounds. Is this going to go into the championship rounds? Do you think you finish him, or we're going to a decision? What do you ultimately do you think we're going to see here?
I'll tell you what, I have no idea what we're going to see. I'll tell you what, I'm ready for 25 fucking minutes. So if it ends earlier than that, it's always a blessing to get in there, get my hand raised, get out. It's the shorter it goes, the better for me. But I'm ready for 25 minutes.
And do you feel like if it does go 25, that you're still going to be able to kind of do what you want in the clinch and win a decision, or that will it get trickier for you if it goes that deep?
I've been that deep before. How many other fighters have fought one full 25-minute round? Or excuse me, not round, one full 25-minute fight. I went into those deep waters with Nate Williams. I know I could do it. I've been set up to fight 4 times for 25 minutes. So like I'm no stranger here. We're gonna see if he can hang out in these waters.
Can't wait to watch this one, man. I'm really excited. Hopefully, I'll be there in person. We
Let's
talked a little bit
go.
about
That'd
that.
be fucking dope, man. That'd be dope.
Absolutely. Tell me camp, what does that look like? I see you're back in Vegas. I saw you posted a picture fairly recently with TJ Brown. What has camp been for you this time around?
Oh, dude, camp's been fucking unbelievable. I actually just got back to Massachusetts. I'm kind of crashing with my parents up until the fight, and then I'll figure it out afterwards. But I spent majority of my camp. I spent like the last five five-ish weeks out in Vegas training at Syndicate, doing all my heavy lifting out there. Like that's where I spend all my rounds. John's opened up his doors to me and has welcomed me onto his team, and pretty much kind of like just like allowed me to train with him and his crew and the coaching staff out there with Chris Trauma and Billy Bigelow. I'm stuttering. Billy Bigelow and Lenon has been unbelievable. So I'm getting a lot of eyes on me, and I'm getting really high level rounds. Some of my days are fucking round robin with Vince Morales and fucking Marab. and then it's like I'm getting working there with Patchy Mix, and TJ Brown was there for a week when he was in Vegas for fucking Bryce Mitchell's fight. So it's like I'm getting some very, very high level rounds in weight classes lower than me, higher than me, and in some in even my weight class. So I'm just getting some really, really good work out there. Dude, fucking Cody Steele was out there. He just had this dope highlight reel knockout for his fight. You gotta assume like a contender series or a UFC shots coming up for him too.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many studs there at Syndicate. You mentioned Marab, so let me just ask you, what is it like training with him? That guy's an absolute monster.
Oh, he's a motherfucker, dude. The guy, like everyone's like, this fucker doesn't get tired. And no, he is a gas tank for days. But I do believe he gets tired. He just doesn't fucking care and just keeps going. Like his mental toughness is one of those things that I'm like, God damn, I've seen him in full on darces, like people have darces on him, and he's not fucking tapping. He does not give a fuck. And his pressure and his go forward, he hits fucking hard. He's good. He's very good.
Ultimately, do you think he's going to be the 135 champ?
Is dude, that's a thing, it all depends on who shows up that night. Now, Marab is a fucking constant. He's gonna show up. And I think when you look at O'Malley, it's not so much, let's say that fight does happen. Like, it's not so much fighting O'Malley. It's fighting Sugar Sean. Like you're not just fighting Sean O'Malley, the person. You're fighting his persona. You're fighting the fans. You're fighting this. And I think Marab, out of everyone, when you look at fucking Cheeto, Marab, Sandhagen, those guys, they all have the skills and the tools to do it. It's just who shows up on that night. So yeah, dude, I could be training with a future world champion.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's interesting you say that, like, fighting Sugar Sean. And the first thing that comes to my mind was Conor McGregor when he was beating like Aldo and Eddie Alvarez. There was such a mystique about him because he was just going out, saying what he was going to do to people and then actually doing it. Do you feel like O'Malley, because there are some comparisons that he gets to Conor, do you feel like he's going to be on that level at some point, or is that just a mountain that's awfully tough to climb?
Um, I think that he has the potential to do it. I for sure think he has the potential to do it. Now, if he does it, that's fucking awesome. Good for him. Um, I think he's gonna do it in his own way. I don't think he's gonna do it like Conor. Obviously, I've seen the comparisons between his knockout over Conor's knockout over Aldo versus O'Malley's knockout over Sterling, and how they were pretty much virtually fucking identical. But they have different styles, different flares. Connor's got the whole whiskey thing. O'Malley's got the whole weed thing. But the thing that I think is they're selling themselves. They're not selling a persona. They're selling who they actually are. And when you're able to double down on who you are rather than be a wannabe, like perfect example, Ian Gary, right? I love watching him fight. He's fantastic. But what I've noticed is he's rinse and repeating the same shit McGregor's saying. That being said, there will be another McGregor in other forms, right? Like there will be another McGregor further down the road. But when you tend to rinse and repeat what someone else has said or done or redo their work, will there be another you? So it's your identity and what you want to do. Obviously, fucking Ian Gary's phenomenal, and he's fucking making really quick work out of, dude. Who'd he fight? Neil Magny? Did he fight after Neil Magny?
No, I think that was his last fight.
Yeah, dude, and that was in Boston, and like he did the whole thing, and like he looked great. He beat the shit out of Neil, but like Neil also took that on what, a week, 2 weeks. He wasn't set up for success, and he just got calf kicked a bunch, and fucking Ian was looking at a full fucking camp. So will there be another Ian Gary is what I'm saying. There'll be another fucking Connor. He was the first and the greatest to do it. But will there be another Ian Gary with the road he's taken? Or does he want to double down on investing in himself? I don't know. I'm like, what the fuck do I know? I'm not even in the UFC right now. So I can go fuck myself, I guess. But
Well, you definitely were. So your opinion matters very much. You know, for me, I go all the way back to Chael Sonnen. He was such a trailblazer for trash talking and just kind of getting inside people's heads. So Connor kind of reminded me a little bit of Chael, but just in a different way. But I'll digress. Let me get some fight picks from you, Don. There's a
Fight
lot of
picks.
hell yeah. There's a lot of good title fights around the corner. Let's start with Makachev Oliveira 2. Who wins? How do they do it?
Makachev. Makachev decision. You know what? No, another submission. I don't think. I think it's going to be a second or third round decision. I don't think he's just going to run through him like he did last time. But a second or third round submission. Excuse me. I'm fucking fumbling my words
Okay.
here. I'm not properly caffeinated. But what do you call it? So I think Makhachev's going to win. I don't think I think going in there already being defeated by someone once is a big mental disadvantage. Not so I don't think Oliveira is going to be able to pull it out. We'll see. But what do I know, dude? Anything can fucking happen. So I'm taking Makhachev round 3 submission.
Safe money. I'm with you there. All right, the heavyweight title will be on the line in
John Jones.
November.
John
John,
Jones.
John Jones,
John
Stipe
Jones.
Miocic. Well, let me ask you this, Don, because people are saying, well, look what John did to Gon, how he just took him down and submitted him so quickly. That is very true. But like Stipe is a very, very good wrestler, and he's got great takedown defense. I don't necessarily think that John's just going to be able to take Stipe down. So with that being said, it's going to be a very different stylistic fight. Do you feel if it stays on the feet, Stipe, he's I think the naturally maybe bigger guy, and he's been fighting at heavyweight longer. Do you think that it's going to make it more interesting if this does stay on the fight or on the feet?
I hate this argument. I hate this argument. Argue me this. When has John Jones ever lost? And don't say Matt Hamill.
No. Alexander Gustafsson, that fight was incredibly close. You got to go way back for that one. And his
I
last
do
couple
remember
fights
that.
at 205 were really close too. I mean, the fight with oh God, I can see his face right now. I'm
Reyes.
just Reyes. That I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people thought he lost that fight.
I don't. I think John Jones is the greatest ever.
I'm not
I
arguing
think, he,
that. I would put
I think he's the greatest
GSP right
ever.
there, but I think that my point is I think that this fight is going to be closer than people think.
I think it's going to be a much different fight than the Cyril Gahn fight. I think he's going to have to do a little bit more striking to take him down, but I envision it going the same way.
Okay.
What's the over under on this fight? Like, what's it? A 5 round fight. So I'm taking the under on anything more than a round and a half.
It's going to be interesting, man. I can't wait to see it. I really can't wait. That's going to be
So,
a
so,
spectacle.
so when I think about it, right, like when I'm competing in the gym, I go with a lot of 35ers. I go with a lot of 55ers. Every once in a while, I'll go with the 25er, and every once in a while, I'll go with the 70er. So I got like a 2 pound, 2 weight class flux while I'm training. And I'll tell you what, I get fucked up more by the 25ers because of their speed than anything. Now, John Jones can make 205 pounds. Okay. I think speed is going to be the biggest factor. Obviously, he's going to be carrying more weight, but he still has that fucking speed. And I think speed kills, and I think speed is the most important factor of fighting. That being said, I think he's going to carry that speed with a little bit more mass, and I don't think Stipe is going to really be able to compete with that.
Just to be clear, I agree with you. I think John Jones is going to win. I just think it's going to be a tougher fight than people think. And you're right, speed kills. That really very well could be the difference in this fight. So you're going Makhachev, you're going Jones. Give me 2 more title picks here. In December, we got the 170 title on the line, Colby Covington, Leon Edwards, and then the 125 title, Brandon Royval, Alexander Pantoja. Who wins those two?
Um, so we got Leon Colby. I got Colby. And then I got Masvidal coming out of retirement to fight Colby. And then no, I'm taking Colby in that one.
It's going to wrestle him to death, right?
Yep. Yep. And we've seen fucking Leon versus, or at least the first time, or at least the second time, You know, you got to look at Kamaru, right? He's already fought the guy 3 fucking times. He beats him once, gets fucking knocked out, then he loses the decision. You got to think that fucked with his mentality and his confidence. So I think the Colby Covington that has not been shook of his confidence against Leon is the best matchup to change the passing of the guards. And then you got Roy Val versus Pantoja. I'm I know Roy Val is very fucking good. I'll be honest, like the only Pantoja fight I saw was him versus my teammate or former teammate Brandon Moreno. So I'm not super familiar with the 25. I don't watch a ton of 25ers fight. Um, this is just a fucking guess, you know. I'll go fucking Pantoja retains.
Okay. That's the only one
I
we
got and still and still and new and still.
Okay. All right. I'm not mad at any of that. I'm with you on three of the four. I'm leaning towards Royville to beat Pantoja and be the new 125 champ. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Uh, let's talk a little bit more here about CES 75. It's at the Foxwood Casino, October the 20th. The main event, Charles Rosa is in town. He's going to be taking on Jonathan Gary. This is a really star-studded event that CES is putting on with yourself in the co-main, Charles in the main event. I feel like since you're fighting for the title, though, you should kind of be in the main event. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck they're doing that. Uh, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't talk to me about promoting. I would have fucking done it differently.
Fair enough.
So,
That's what I was thinking too. Who are
are
you
they
going to have?
fighting at 55 or at 45?
They're fighting at 55, I believe.
They're 55. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not a 45 fight. I get whatever.
Yeah.
Charles is a big name.
Yep.
Me and Charles actually spoke about competing against each other before I got released from the UFC. Before we both got released from the UFC, we were trying to petition that fight to get on the Boston card. And to me, there would have been nothing bigger than me versus him in UFC Boston. But we ended up both getting released before that happened, and that didn't pan out. They kind of dropped the ball there. Whatever, fuck it. But if he's fighting at 55, I don't fucking care, man. Like he seems like a pretty cool dude. I met him at Encore for the Calvin Caters fucking combat zone with Dana White's looking for a fight.
Mm-hmm.
He's super cool dude.
Yeah.
Fucking but then like he hit me up, he's like, hey, we should fight. I'm like, all right, I'm in. Fucking he's like, tell your manager. We end up having the same management. We both end up getting released, but who knows? Who knows? We'll see.
So that's a fight that potentially could happen down the line.
We'll see. I don't know if it'll happen regionally, but UFC, Bellator, PFL. I hear Bellator's kind of dead in the waters right now. Well, I don't know what the deal with that is, but I don't want to do it for local money. That's a big promotion money.
No doubt. Completely agree with you there, my man. As far as fight night, who will be in your corner come fight night?
So my coach Eric Grossman, my old roommate Devin Weber, he's flying in to come down, help me with the weight cut and corner me, and then my one of my strength and conditioning and massage guys, Chris Brennick. He's dude, let me tell you about this fucking guy. He's 6'5", Rasa, minister, like he does it all. Family man. And like as far as like having a spiritual guide and like getting prepared for war and warming my body up, like there's no one better than him. Straight up, there is no one better than him. And there's something just about his presence where he doesn't have the most martial arts experience. He obviously trains, he does jujitsu, he strikes. But like as far as competing in MMA, like he doesn't have that experience, but what he does have is this sense of knowing and being and kind of brings like a different spiritual aspect to the table that I really enjoy, and his presence is kind of calming in such a chaotic moment.
Yeah, that's really important too. A lot of people don't talk enough about that, with just how mental MMA is and just, combat sports in general. Do you feel like it really just helps kind of center you and get you in more of like a Zen state, if that's possible, as you're getting ready to fight?
Well, so yeah, dude, absolutely. Fighting is all mental. Like you got to be crazy to think it's just fucking exercise. No, this isn't. Part of this is strategy, yes, but like, dude, are you in control of your emotions? Like everyone has a game plan going in. Everything changes the second you go right? It's like you could have a fucking game plan. Do you stick to that game plan? Are you mentally strong enough to, or have the capability of thinking while you're fucking tired? Are you mentally there? Are you spiritually there? Are you physically there? Those are three separate things that all have to be in tune to actually go out there and compete at your highest level. Now, when you're competing, you want a few different things. What separates competition from the gym is the change of a venue, right? So you change your venue, heightens your awareness, you know, like your change of venue, you're never have trained with this opponent, most likely, you know, the fear of losing. So there's so many different factors that go into that, and if you're not checking off all those boxes and doing all your work and not leaving any stone unturned, you're really setting yourself up for failure.
Just to piggyback off of what you just said, how hard was it for you when you first started fighting to kind of not let the fans in attendance and just the large number of people that are there watching affect you and get in your head? Did that ever bother you, or was that something that you had to adjust to?
It's definitely a feeling. It's an undescribable feeling. I think I'm addicted to that feeling. And I think that's the feeling of why I do this, because I'll transition to what you're asking into something a little bit different, but it's going to make sense, I promise. So that feeling, right, is being present in the moment. Okay. So it's like you feel weird because you know for 15 minutes or 25 minutes, you're locked in there. And if you're not present in the fucking moment, you're gonna get fucked up. If you're in a fight and you're thinking about taxes or your job or your money or your this or your that, no, it is fucking task at hand. It forces you to be right there, right now. And I don't know about you, but it's been right now my whole fucking life. I've said this before, like, and I stay by this. It's been right now my whole fucking life. So you tend to like get buried away with your conscious and your subconscious, because your conscious is constantly drowning out your subconscious because it's so right there in your face, and you're thinking about fucking school, work, taxes, fucking whatever you're dealing with in day to day. Or you got your other people that are thinking about the past, like reminiscing about fucking high school or breaking up with their girl or this or that or whatever things happened in the past. But how rare is it to be fucking present right there in the moment? And I think I got a very good sense of that with my wrestling in high school. I think being out there and competing for those 3 2-minute rounds kind of got me a little taste of that. And then, obviously playing football, you're there for an hour, but wrestling is just you alone and people are watching and you're getting used to it. And then when I first started as an amateur, it did take some acclimating and being nervous and all that. But if anything, the coolest thing about what I do is I get to be present in the moment. And not only do I get to be present in the moment, I get to force everyone that I've created a connection with, an emotional reaction with, to get excited about my fight, to be right there and take this journey with me. So it's not just me fighting. I'm like, we're all going through this together, because I'll tell you what, when I'm competing and you're there to see me, you're not worrying about fucking your next journal article, your next podcast. You're not this, that, your bets, whatever. You're not worried about that. You're right there fucking with me. So over time, yes, it's gotten easier. But I also feed off that energy too. So it's a very fucking weird thing to describe and talk about because it doesn't quite make sense. But I think I kind of did the best I could at describing it, if that made sense.
You did. You absolutely did. I'll tell you something off air that'll kind of help explain from my point of view that why I totally understand and get what you're saying. Let's just transition real quick just to this matchup again. We did talk to him, or excuse me, we did talk earlier in this interview just about your opponent. You were very respectful. You seem like you think this is going to be a challenging fight. But when it comes right down to it, give me your ultimate prediction here. Do you think that we're going to see like your best performance? You're going to get in there and get this guy out of there? What ultimately is your prediction here?
I go into every fight thinking like I'm the fucking man and I'm gonna go in there and get out of this and fucking leave no scratches unturned. But dude, I think this is gonna be a fucking dogfight. And I'd be lying to you to say this is gonna be fucking easy. This guy is not a bum. He's fucking good. He's dangerous, and I'm prepared for that. And I think I'm better. Like straight up. I think I'm better. I think I'm tougher. I'm gonna be in better shape. and we're gonna find the fuck out. So I'm ready for fucking 25 minutes of war. Like this is I'm fucking hungry, man. You know, and he's gonna be hungry too. Everyone wants to be the UFC vet. How do you get into the UFC? You beat a vet. Now I'm that vet. Well, fuck you. I'm like that's what this is. This is a fuck you. And like, yes, I'm super respectful of my opponent. I understand what he fucking possesses is extremely dangerous, but like at the end of the day, it's fuck you, me first.
Are you going to be disappointed if you win this fight and you do it impressively and your next fight is not in the UFC?
No, no, I'm not going to be disappointed. You know, I got in the UFC under terrible circumstances. You know, I took a short notice fight and I fought a top ranked guy. And it's not even under terrible circumstances. I was coming off an injury and it was kind of an ultimatum. So it was kind of like gun to my head, make a decision. Okay. And I fucking, as a man, I made a fucking decision. Now, was I set up for success? No. All right, fuck it. On to the next one. Fast forward a little bit, a month or so, I get my fight. Fucking, I get presented with another gun to my head fucking situation where I decide where I'm gonna do my training camp because everything changed for me in like a 2 week span of camp. Everything changed for me where I had to move cross country. I had to fucking move cross country mid fight camp, fucking change coaches, gyms, teams, teammates, everything. Gun to my head, I had to make a fucking decision. I made my decision, you know, and by no means am I using that as an excuse, but on the other end, it's like, was I set up to be the best version of me? No. The first performance, I fought like shit. Whatever. Fuck it. On to the next one. The second performance, I don't think I was set up for success. Not due to anyone's fault, just fucking life getting in the way. Now, that being said, I had a fucking fight of the night performance. I didn't get fight of the night, but dude, it was fucking right up there with fucking Bulk Islam. I thought we put on a fucking awesome show, and I was an absolute dog, and I got to show who I truly was. They want to release me after that? You know what? Whatever. Fuck it. Don't fucking care. Mission continues. You know, I'm here to fucking be the best me I can be and evolve every day. And do I believe that I can compete in the UFC? I fucking know I can. Now, do I need to do some work to get back there? Yeah. Am I going to be more disappointed than getting released off a short fucking stint? No, I don't think at this point in my career I could be disappointed because I've faced every fucking emotion from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. You know, minus death, like I faced every emotion you can in the sport. There's nothing I haven't seen. So will I be disappointed if I have to fight again? No, I'm going to do exactly what I need to do. I'm going to fight again. And you know what? I love the UFC. I want to fight for them again, but yeah, I'm open to fucking other promotions as well. Whoa, money talks.
Well, I can't wait to see what's next for you. Obviously, what's next is this CES title fight,
Mhm.
and then the future is bright, regardless of what it is, my man. Don, again, I appreciate the time. You can see him fight on UFC Fight Pass, October the 20th. CES 75 co-main event for the featherweight title. Before we do sign off here, I want to give you the floor. If there's anyone you want to thank, anything you want to plug, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I got a couple of sponsors for this fight. I have actually a ton of them, but just off the top of my head, I want to thank Miss Fox, my tattoo artist. She's been sponsoring me for the past few months or so. She's been giving, dude, she's fucking dope. If you're into black and gray work, she's fucking dope. I want to thank Billy Adams with his company, Joe Grimaldi, my lawyer, and Natalia Vargas Insurance. So I want to give all those guys a quick little shout out. I got a ton more sponsors, but off the top, I don't want to fucking like take a minute and look through everyone right now. But yeah, dude, I'm fucking excited. This is gonna be a great one. Merch is in the fucking in the works, so we'll get some new merch out and let's get this ball rolling.